In this extended Filipino food marathon, you're gonna witness the extreme side of dining in the Philippines.
Bat wings or chicken wings? What do you prefer?
Pakpak ng paniki.
Paniki.
Me too.
Oh my gosh.
The Philippines is a vast archipelago made up of thousands of islands, the biggest among them being Luzon. Here, we'll start in the country's capital of Manila, then travel northward all the way up to the Cordillera mountain range. I'm on a mission to cover the Filipino foods that are pushing the boundaries of what's considered normal.
From the rancid garbage dump here to this kitchen, this food has undergone quite the transformation. I gotta say, in general, it smells pretty good in here. I like it.
From rare and exotic tribal foods like monkey meat,
Are there any particular diseases that can come from eating monkey?
Ebola.
Ebola.
all the way to the rotten-smelling, pungent pork delicacy of the north known as itong.
You know, I've risked my life many times on this show. Never like this.
But first, a stomach-turning street food here in the heart of Manila. It's made from recycled trash and they call it PAGPAG.
You don't know how long it's been there, so it could have been mixed with dangerous chemicals. It could have been exposed, contaminated with different bacteria.
I'm on a mission to understand how PAGPAG production works and why, in spite of all the dangers, this dark trend still continues.
Do you ever see food that you don't keep? Is there ever food in such bad condition that you just keep it in the trash?
It all starts with the Philippines' most beloved fast food chain.
Right behind me, Jollibee, a Filipino fast food restaurant, a chain, a franchise that has spread all around the world. It is the pride of this country. For many Filipinos, coming here is like a special occasion. They've got spaghetti, they've got burgers, but they are most famous for their fried chicken.
Oh, you got me so good.
It's a world you're likely familiar with, the local fast food spot. Head in to grab a quick bite, place an order, sink your teeth into your favorite guilty pleasure, and discard the rest.
I love
You
it.
got me good.
What little did you know, in a parallel reality, the first link of a new food chain has just begun.
Some people in the Philippines have taken drastic measures in order to sell and consume PAGPAG, the recycled, thrown away, discarded food that comes from this restaurant.
If you're in Manila, there's a good chance that in this garbage can, the leftover bits of uneaten fried chicken will soon reappear as someone else's meal. But how does this underground food chain work?
Welcome to the BEFRS Mobile. This is going to be my main mode of transportation while we are here in the Philippines. Right now, we are headed from Jollibee to a place called Happy Land.
In the chaotic sprawl of Manila, a city home to 15 million souls, you'll discover the full spectrum of existence. Look up, and that's hope. Skyscrapers pulsing with energy and ambition, offering a whirlwind of possibilities both exhilarating and daunting. Yet within the shadows cast by these towering structures, a stark reality reveals itself, a disconcerting part of the city's identity. Welcome to Happy Land, the largest slum in Manila. This is where the PAGPAG creation finds its audience, suited to those with no buying power and many times cheaper than the real thing.
Ma'am, nice to meet you. Do you live here in Happy Land? And why do you think they call it that?
She doesn't know.
It seems like a bit of dark humor. I've seen images of this place before online. Coming here in person, the reality is when you walk through these streets, the vibe isn't really what you would expect. It's not as though there isn't adversity, there's a lot. The thing is like how people deal with it. People seem happy, they're playing games, they're cheerful.
Exactly.
Meeting me here, Chui, a young Filipino, documenting every food he can find on this vast archipelago. He's also my eating Sherpa when dining options seem daunting during this Luzon food tour.
To be clear, we are in a dump right now. It's garbage, it smells completely rancid in here. She is one of the many people here who sift through the garbage. Now, she takes a clean bag, she goes through the garbage bag and does what?
Etong pagpag. Tsaka itong mga kalakal. Yung hindi niya kukuha dito lang mga ganito eh. Pero pag ito, yan, kalakal, oo.
Every morning, bags filled with the decomposing remains of last night's fast food feast are collected and brought here to be sorted.
Do you ever see food that you don't keep? Is there ever food in such bad condition that you just keep it in the trash?
Hindi. Kasi merong minsan dito.
The condition of the PAGPAG can range from mostly intact food to partially consumed or damaged, but it's all exposed to the relentless heat of Manila's sun throughout the day. As for the quality assurance, Well, that's up to the person sorting it.
She said that by her eyes, she knows if the food is already spoiled or not, because sometimes it's like more on the wet side, so they throw it away and they will just keep the fresh food or the pagpag that's also edible.
Is this the only way that you make money?
Abandon all conceptions of comfort, convenience, and what's considered essential. Here, beneath the poverty line, the rules are rewritten. Flimsy walls and a makeshift roof create a shelter that can fit a dozen people. Privacy is a luxury. Whether it's food, fashion, or fixtures, everything new was born of something old, recycled, or discarded. From here, the salvaged food is typically sold to nearby PAGPAG vendors for further processing, but not in Evelyn's case. Known locally as the queen of PAGPAG, Evelyn takes on the entire process herself, adding her unique touch, turning this survival food into a local favorite.
I'm told you are the person to go to if I want to try PAGPAG. Is that right? We already met one woman who makes a living collecting the PAGPAG from the actual garbage dump. Here, it looks like you're having bags delivered right to your stall. How does that work? Who is bringing this to you?
Dinidiribe.
So there's a distributor, so she distributes different fast food like that.
And so why not just have somebody sort it for you? Why do you sort it yourself?
Kasi para okay lahat.
For quality checking.
QA. You know, this is such a unique type of food. I'm curious, how did your journey begin with PAGPAG? How did you get started with all this?
Sa father ko.
Okay. So she said that she learned it from her father. When they were kids, they ate it like that.
Luto ulam.
Before selling pagpag, she's selling like common food, Filipino food. She has a small eatery.
So like a carinderia?
Exactly.
So why'd you go from carinderia to PAGPAG?
Mas mas mabilis maubos.
It's more sellable to her community
Mura lang.
because it's very cheap.
Kasi masarap daw eh.
Basically, she said because it's delicious. It's yummy. Yummy?
Yummy.
Yummy.
All right, soon I'll be trying your fried PAGPAG. But my big question is, what are you doing to transform this food? Something that was destined for the landfill.
Unang-una, ginalinisan.
The first process, she wash it 2 times with water. And then just rinse it like that. She wash it thoroughly. After that, she will boil it. That's like the 3rd process of cleaning or washing. So maybe all of the bacteria will be gone like that.
Despite the assumption that rinsing with water removes harmful bacteria, a lingering risk still remains.
When I think PAGPAG, I just think refried chicken. But how many different types of PAGPAG are there?
So besides fried chicken, she has other 2 dishes. It's called Adobo Pagpag and Mechadong Pagpag.
Which is the most popular?
Fried.
Okay. I feel comfortable trying that.
Any of this food could contain dangerous bacteria or toxins, posing potential threats like food poisoning, diarrhea, typhoid, hepatitis, and more. In spite of that, folks here still opt for the PAGPAG without hesitation. And soon, I'll be doing the same.
But first,
I'm heading to the bustling streets of Tondo, where another variety of recycled food is feeding locals. Unlike PAGPAG, it's not spent any time in a trash can, but a lingering risk still remains.
I understand that it's being sold to them by hotels, but I wonder if there's any food safety standard in place.
I doubt if there are any standards.
Meeting me here, Tatung, a well-known figure in the Philippines with a long resume. He's a chef, writer, and culinary heritage advocate. And just like me, he's never tried PAGPAG.
Yeah, I haven't tried that. And I'm quite scared, but I'm willing to try it.
So why scared?
You know, it's something that isn't usual, especially that you know that it's food from the garbage. Technically, it's generally meant for landfill or fertilizer, but it's so mind-boggling to think that people are eating the food knowing that it came from garbage.
Right, it's not a secret.
Yeah, there's no deception.
We are working up to the PAGPAG, but before we try that, we're trying something else.
Yeah.
There is a food stall serving what I've been told is recycled meat.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
This is MONOK, spicy double-cooked meat, a creation from Loida's family, with a recipe enduring for almost 3 decades.
It's actually like restaurants, byproducts. For example, we have like big hotels boiling kilos of meat just to get the stock or whatever. So they're basically clean. It's just that it has less flavor. It doesn't taste anything anymore. And instead of just throwing it into the garbage, they kind of resell it to, you know, people and making a business out of it. It's something that's also very entrepreneurial in a sense.
Ma'am, good day.
Good day.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm happy to be here. Translate.
She understands.
Oh, you understand?
Yeah.
Oh, you're good. This stall started a long time ago. From the beginning, this meat was coming from where?
Hotel po. Siya po yung pinagkuluan
The
ng...
seller also inherited the business and now continues to supply her for the next generation.
Do you think it's legal for them to sell it in this way? Are there any health regulations or standards around hotels selling meat to individuals?
Meron po silang certificate na
So she get a certificate from the management to allow them to sell the leftovers. And she's also been to the hotel, so she knows it's clean. And she knows that the quality is good because she would never sell something that would be bad for her customers.
Of course. The question is, the meat has no flavor. How do you bring it back to life?
Yung pong karnina wala na
So
po.
she just adds all the ingredients to make it delicious and she cooks it with love.
Okay.
Yeah.
And by love, she meant soy sauce. Lots of it, adding salt and color to the shredded meat. Then she marinates it with vinegar, onions, and chilies. It simmers until the meat absorbs all that flavor.
What animal did this come from?
It's a mix of beef and pork.
Now it's time to cook it up. Garlic hits the hot oil. Then comes onion, chilies, and the meat. Mix it up, then force feed this protein with even more flavor. Soup-based seasoning, salt, sugar, black pepper, and oyster sauce. Stir it until the meat gets crispy, caramelizing in the seasoning. Then plate, serve, and eat.
Ready?
Smells good. Cheers.
Spicy.
They're really hot. Indeed, it's very crunchy and kind of caramelized, toasted. It tastes like soy sauce. It tastes very, very salty.
Yeah.
What is it that local folks like about this recipe?
Yung pong medyo, ano siya, maanghang.
So people like it for the spiciness. That's why they come back for it.
Are the customers who come here aware of where the meat comes from?
Opo.
In general, are people here trusting of the street food vendors when it comes to knowing where the meat came from, knowing that it's fresh and that it's safe to eat?
Hindi naman po. Kasi sanay
So
naman
a lot of people assume it's clean because she sees her working here and they've been eating it for so long, so there's no problem about that. And also she feeds it to her family, so she knows that it's really good.
I think the fact that it comes from a hotel, but
Yeah.
she cooks the heck out of it and then hits it with a lot of salt makes me think it's much more safe to eat. It makes it more palatable too. This would be very nice with a beer.
Yeah.
San Miguel, Red Horse.
Yeah.
Now that we've dipped our toes into the world of recycled food, it's time for the real deal, and there's no turning back from here. We've come back to Happy Land just in time to witness the PAGPAG cooking process. So how does Evelyn transform trash into something palatable?
She's using unique ingredients, and the secret ingredient is a Sprite.
It starts with a selection of protein that varies each day. It could include sausages, patties, or untouched pieces of chicken. But most of the time, it's partially eaten pieces of fried chicken like this. Now, half of this salvaged meat will be transformed into adobo, the beloved stew of the Philippines. A sizzling pan first receives a portion of garlic, awaiting the pagpag meat. Sugar, pineapple juice, soy sauce, vinegar, MSG, and Sprite join the mix, with all those powerful flavors simmering together. Then finally, an unexpected twist: smashed crackers and milk powder, giving new life to old ingredients. If the stew doesn't suit you, there's always the refried chicken. First marinate in garlic, soy sauce, Sprite, then sugar, MSG, and pineapple juice. Now they hit the oil until they recook all the way through.
Now I understand why people say this food is so dangerous. From the rancid garbage dump here to this kitchen, this food has undergone quite the transformation. I gotta say, in general, it smells pretty good in here. I like it. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, I could see it's perfectly natural why this food is off-putting to so many people, but also why it's captured the imagination or the attention of so many people online from other countries. I think the most worrisome part is the fact that somebody may get sick from eating food that's old, that's just been sitting in a warm garbage bag for an unknown period of time. Now, the only thing giving me a little bit of security, considering the fact that I'm about to try this out, is that she boiled it good, but here she is frying the heck out of it. So hopefully any residual remaining organisms that could be alive in there will be fried to death. That's what we hope. Do we know for sure? No. What I've heard is that you've had a lot of streamers, YouTubers, people like me, frankly, who have come here and documented PAGPAG and Happy Land. Why do you think this food is so taboo? Why does this food get so much attention from people?
Kasi, paborito.
Probably in the mainstream, it seems strange, but here, it's their favorite.
I don't know. There's a stigma online, right? There's a certain type of social media person whose goal is to go to downtrodden places, to go to slums and kind of filming people at their worst moments, but without looking deeper into the story behind the people. I think that's something called like poverty porn. And that's something people look down on.
And I think it's also about how you're treating the storytelling. Because for me, the reason I wanted to come is to really understand how this kind of preparation came to be. Because it's like an evolution of food, you know, like if you go into like countryside, people forage for food. But in an urban setting, if you forage for, you wouldn't find mushrooms and all that. You'd probably find this. And how do people react knowing that they have to eat? So it's a very nice and very insightful discourse to understand how people in the urban setting fend for themselves, try to find ways to, you know, feed their families with what's available.
Beautiful. That being said, the time has come, we should try some
Oh
out.
yeah.
Let me give you a little background on the food. Right here, we have our main entree. So there's fried chicken, but it's not just the chicken. I see there's a patty here from a burger that's been fried. Then there's some hot dogs. I know a bizarre question, and maybe borderline inappropriate. Is there a brand that people prefer here?
Jollibee.
Oh my gosh, the pride this nation has in Jollibee, even here in this moment. Can you choose me a piece? People usually eat this with rice. I'm just gonna eat it plain. It looks like a thigh. Can I tell you something funny? My friend Andrew came here to shoot, and somebody accused him of not eating the real PAGPAG because he got a piece like this. Now, it is possible that from the trash, you get some big pieces that have a lot of protein, and that's what you see here. But then there's also some pieces like this that we're certainly have eaten. All right, I'm gonna just break off a piece of the meat. I'm smelling it. Look, I'm sorry if I look suspicious. It's new, all right? I'm gonna try it out.
Jollibee?
It's Jollibee.
Yeah,
For
you
me,
trying
it's
to figure it out?
Jollibee. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay.
McDonald's.
You think McDonald's?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Mine is Jollibee.
Now, let me tell you, she refried the heck out of this.
Yeah.
She fried it for about 10 minutes, probably longer than the original frying. At this point, it's cooled down a little bit, so I can't really tell the difference between leftover cold Jollibee and this. It kind of just tastes like food that's been in your fridge for a couple of days.
Yeah. Or cooked by someone who doesn't really know how to cook, you know?
It is intentionally over-fried. Are you gonna have some more? Tell me something though. Do you feel apprehensive? Do you feel reluctant?
I'm kind of apprehensive, but it's all in the mind. But if you taste it, there's nothing wrong with it.
Look, the purpose of this video is not to try to advocate in saying like, hey, this is a safe and healthy way of eating this. But I guess the philosophy of the show since it began was, hey, if they eat it, I'll eat it too, including this. So, ma'am, well done. She's taking it. I think you got to get these extra crispy.
At face value, this story is about the Philippines' most taboo food. But as we delve deeper, we uncover a story of resilience and resourcefulness. Evelyn and those who populate Happy Land endure acute adversity day after day. But they choose to walk light, wear a smile, and act on what's within their control.
In Happy Land, what are the biggest challenges that people are facing here in this neighborhood?
Mahirap maghanap ng pera rito.
Difficult to make a living, so a lot of people are scavengers. A lot of junk shops here.
What's your hope for the future, for yourself personally and your family?
Pamilya ko, makakain lang kami pag...
She's the breadwinner in the family. She just wants all her kids to finish school.
Is PAGPAG gonna get your kids through school? Yeah? Wow.
Let's be more efficient.
There is no clear path from this place to anywhere else that resembles what the world would call success. But through years of selling this disgraced dish, Evelyn has managed to put her children through school, perhaps the first step in a long and difficult journey away from Happy Land and toward happiness. Now, we're hitting the road and traveling north in Luzon, the Philippines' largest island, in search of food that is truly shocking.
Luzon is a huge region in the Philippines, and this trip is all about going as far north as we can until we hit our final destination in Buscalan, Kalinga. But for that, we have a special side mission.
Welcome to Pastolan. This place is home to the first people of this nation, the indigenous Aeta tribe, said to have arrived here over 30,000 years ago.
You slaughter the chicken and then chuck the whole thing into the fire.
Here, just a few hours from the big city, you'll witness a clash between rapid modernization and customs that go back generations.
We're doing the bad thing for real. Is there a certain amount that you're hoping to get today? I mean, one is pretty good. We could just, or even half of one.
I'm on a mission to learn more about this important culture.
Right now, we're doing what I call my worst nightmare.
I want to know how they live.
Oh my God, okay.
And how they eat.
Bat wings or chicken wings? What do you prefer?
Including a meal made from a forbidden food.
This is essentially a monkey drumstick.
But before that, how about some breakfast?
Good morning.
Good morning, Sunny.
Eating with us, two Aeta tribal members, Rosario and Sam.
It probably goes without saying, this is probably the most normal thing we're gonna eat today. Most familiar to people watching the video right now.
We call it manok bakal, wild chicken.
Breakfast prep is underway. First, two wild chickens are cooked in two different ways. A roasted version called SINILAB and a soup version called SINIGANG, a treat prepared by our host and tribal hunter who goes by the name Dandye.
Is this a preparation you've had your whole life like this?
Oh, yes.
After slaughtering, he defeathers the bird, but instead of waiting for water to boil, he chucks it in the fire and calls it a day.
Because sometimes we're lacking of water.
No need to waste water or get a pot or heat it up or wait, just chuck it in the fire.
Yes.
Aeta's cuisine is reflected in its simplicity, with minimal ingredients and a focus on using what's readily available in the environment. For this dish, the chicken is stuffed into a bamboo vessel along with sour leaves. It's seasoned with just a pinch of salt and a splash of water. Then it's all left to cook slowly over an open fire. Banana leaves are cleverly used as a lid for the bamboo.
There's an added flavor from the bamboo. So it tastes different when you put it on the regular bowl. Even when you put soft drinks on it, it has a different flavor.
Sorry, so you're like putting Sprite in bamboo?
Yes. And coffee.
For our starch, some plantains, cassava, and taro hit the fire until their insides soften up.
Can we try some taro to start with? I
Yes.
want to, ease my way into this meal. That's good. There's something almost spicy to it, like eating a radish. Very nice. But with that said, let's get into some of this protein. The soup has been removed. It's more of a dry soup at this point, but the broth has been put into these bamboo tubes, right?
Yep.
Juicy. Let me try some of this leaf. Oh yeah, that's sour. You know, there's different types of sour. There's like sour citrus, like lemon or lime, but then there's like sour fermented. That's what that tastes like.
Aeta vinegar, that's why they call it.
Oh really? Here, this is a broth that goes with it, right?
Yeah.
Cheers. Oh wow, that's a fascinating flavor. It's a mixture of the fat that boiled out of the chicken, the sourness from the leaves, and it's the smokiness from the fire.
You know the cup? American glass.
Because it has a space for your nose, it will not touch your nose.
Because Filipinos have flatter noses? Is that what you're saying? But I got a big honker right here.
Yeah.
Sam specializes in social and community development. He's deeply committed to promoting and preserving Aeta culture, an integral part of his upbringing. Soon, we'll go hunting with an aim to capture some of the most exotic food we can find in the jungle.
Oh my God, okay. Yep.
But before that, we've got one much more palatable food to try.
Alas, here we have
The fire-grilled chicken.
First, the legs, head, and organs are removed. Then the chicken is stuffed with lemongrass and local leaves called tanglad. Season it with a bit of salt, put it on a skewer, and grill it beyond well done.
I'm gonna grab a leg. Oh my God. This is like that marathon chicken, right?
Yeah.
It's been walking around a lot, a little bit more tough. The dark meat's nice and juicy, but this type of chicken is always dense. It's always chewy. But folks here seem to like that, right?
Even when we boil it, we want it a little chewy.
And why is that?
It's the practice of protecting your teeth. Look at my nanay, pin mo. Yeah, complete set of two.
Let's see those teeth. Pretty good. So you grew up here in this village?
8 years old.
Oh wow, looking great.
The Aeta people are indigenous to the Luzon region. Apart from their traditions, their physical characteristics distinguish them from other tribal groups on this vast and diverse archipelago.
What is the size of this village? How many people are here?
500 families.
That's bordering on a town.
It's believed they arrived here long ago by way of land bridges that once connected the Philippines with mainland Asia.
When she was young, 50 years ago, I'm sure the food that people were eating was a lot different, a lot more traditional. And today that's really what we want to focus on, especially when it comes to foraging.
Can we try bats?
Bats.
Bats, you like it?
I don't know how excited I am for bats. I have had bats before, and They were okay. Have you ever tried bat?
10 years old pa lang ako kumakain na.
10 years old, she's eating.
So what do you like about it?
Kasi ang paniki,
She loves the bat wings.
Bat wings or chicken wings? What do you prefer?
pakpak ng paniki.
Paniki.
Me too.
Oh my gosh.
If you done to it, you have a toothpick.
Oh, this is wild. A region, a village where they prefer bat wings over chicken wings.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Aeta communities have long been hunters and gatherers, possessing extensive knowledge of the tropical forests they call home. Historical illustrations often depict them wielding bows and arrows or spears when pursuing prey. However, when it comes to hunting bats, they employ a different technique.
We will be using thorns of rattan. Rattan is a vine tree. It has a lot of thorns on it.
Is there a certain amount that you're hoping to get today? I mean, one is pretty good. We could just, or even half of one.
It's at least 5.
After a 1-hour hike from the village, we arrive at a small cave.
When a dying uncle or sick uncle or grandmother, anybody who is sick in the family, sometimes when they request you to hunt, then you have to, because that's their like a dying wish. Sometimes they don't die. They become stronger
After eating the bat
Yep.
meat. So its effects can be that profound. It's not just about food, but it's also about tradition, about customs, and also about healing.
The bat species we're targeting here is different from the greater short-nosed fruit bat I encountered in Indonesia. We're after the lesser short-nosed fruit bat.
Oh my God.
A species predominantly found in tropical regions of Southeast Asia.
Okay, we focus the lights there on that one hole.
Their diet primarily consists of small fruit along with nectar and pollen.
Right now we're doing what I call my worst nightmare. This is a very small cave, and right now his team is outside both entrances with nets, and we're inside. Our job is to scare them out. Oh my God. Okay. Can I use a knife or something? Jeez. Right now he's equipped with a bamboo rod, and I have a knife. I'm trying to make bat kebabs in here.
Get there. Ready?
After several attempts, it appears the net technique is not working out, and these bats won't be returning anytime soon. I don't want to admit it, but this is starting to look like a failed mission.
Sadly, our mission today was not triumphant. Do you know what you call a bat cave with no bats? Just a cave. They got out of there quickly. You see, one side we had a giant net on. Yeah, that side, that's the net. The other side, and I'm not sure about the strategy, the other side they had nothing. So, stay with me. The bats were like,
well, we should just fly through the side where there's nothing.
So they just left.
I'm of two minds about not having to eat the bats. On one hand, I don't have to eat the bats. On the other hand, I'm still curious about this ancient tradition. Nonetheless,
there's a surprise.
Don't fear.
Uh-oh.
The locals here won't let me leave without a wild experience.
Jaran!
But before all that, Sam has something to show me.
So we didn't get bats, but it looks like you've got this already.
Yeah, we hunted.
This is the Philippine long-tailed macaque.
How long since it was born?
Roughly around 3 months.
Rest assured, we're not dealing with an endangered species here. And personally, I'm not too keen on trying this particular monkey.
What is the method for actually catching them?
Bamboo trap.
Can I pick it up?
Sure.
Why is he not biting me?
Because
Oh, okay, fair
you
enough.
look like human.
I thought you were gonna say I look like one of them.
It's trying to sleep.
It actually seems pretty chilled out and relaxed. It looks like it just smoked 2 joints. Do some people keep these as pets?
Yes.
But they also eat them.
Yes, it's actually when it's Holy Week, we go to the forest for hunt. The monkeys will make our elderly stronger.
I definitely can't eat this one because I've made a connection.
Yes.
It looked into my eyes. I saw its innocence. It thinks I'm its dad.
Can we name him Sunny?
Yeah, you can name it Sunny. Sunny Jr. Okay, yep, you're good. We had a great time. Definitely we can't eat this monkey. I've bonded with it. We have a close relationship. But luckily, you have pieces of frozen monkey in a freezer.
Yep.
And that is set to be part of our final feast.
How do you come to terms with the fact that on one side, you're helping animals, rescuing them, rehabilitating them, and on the other side, you're going out and hunting them for consumption?
But But before we get to that, I'm taking a slight detour.
Where was this found?
In the forest.
Revealing a reptile they caught 2 days ago.
Oh yeah, oh my God. A couple of lizards. This one's hog-tied. This one has its back legs free.
Be careful with the bite.
Yeah, they do bite. Oh my gosh, it's just like a snake.
It's a monitor lizard.
How do you trap these?
Put some rotten meat and then set the trap there.
What is the best way to cook up lizard?
Adobo.
Adobo. That is fascinating because adobo is probably one of the most popular food preparation styles in the Philippines, but I would say few people have had adobo with this inside.
Adobo cooking goes way back in the Philippines. Originally, it was a way to preserve meat in this tropical climate. And since the Spanish left their mark, it became the adobo we know today, a process typically involving chicken, pork, or seafood. But I'm about to find out, you can adobo just about anything. First, our cook begins by frying garlic and onions in oil. She adds the meat, already chopped into pieces and cleared of any unwanted bits. Next comes the essential adobo ingredients, soy sauce and vinegar. Let it simmer until it turns a rich brown hue.
Have you ever had lizard adobo?
Hosting us in her traditional home, an elder of the Aeta tribe, Mary.
Sinigang.
She had lizard before, but it's the sour soup.
There's 3 piles. Do we each get 1 pile?
Mine, yours, and hers.
Oh, you guys gave me the biggest pile. It's almost like a sticky glaze on the outside, but the meat is actually quite soft. Oh, she's grabbing from my pile. All right, let's try it out.
If someone dig on your plate is an honor.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. That flavoring is amazing. A soy sauce glaze, a slight sourness. I gotta say, this is delectable. The only thing is, a lot of bones. So the flavor, it's a little chickeny. It's not 100% like chicken. It's more springy. It's got skin in each bite, and the skin is a little rubbery. This is some of the best lizard I've ever had in my life. Please, Mary, enjoy some more.
Mary has called this house her home for 30 years. Its construction was a community effort.
We need at least 5 men to cut some bamboo to cover the house.
And so why do some folks have houses like this, and why do some have a concrete house?
Preference and also the situations in life.
If you could change something about your house, what would you change?
She wished that before she died or left her family, at least they're living in a comfortable house. Concrete.
With the progress that's been made over time, at least during your lifetime, what progress do you see that there is still to be made?
What I really want to see is the changes, the way we see the point of view of looking to the Aetas. Because most of the time we're called BMW. BMW means bobo, mangmang, and walang alam, meaning we don't know anything, if not possible. At least discriminations against us, the Aeta people, at least we have more opportunities to be in the universities. That's what I think is the best. Help Aetas get education, get them the profession they need, then everything will follow.
For our final meal, Dandye returns with a handful of monkey meat from his freezer. That is a sentence I never imagined that I would utter. The monkey will be prepared in 2 distinct ways. The first method embraces a classic Filipino technique known as kinilaw, akin to a Filipino version of ceviche, though fortunately in this case, there will be no raw meat.
Is this something you've seen people in your tribe eating from the time you were young?
Yeah.
After briefly grilling, the monkey meat is chopped into small pieces.
Are there any particular diseases that can come from eating monkey?
Ebola.
Ebola.
But that's not proven.
Shallots, garlic, and ginger are finely diced and given a quick cook on the fire together with the meat.
You've never heard of anybody getting sick?
No.
It makes them stronger.
Ordinarily, kinilaw doesn't involve this extra step of actual cooking. But given that this is monkey meat, it feels like the perfect time to veer away from tradition.
Gentlemen, look, I gotta say, I've had monkey before. I can't say it was a great experience, but it was an experience that I'm glad I had. And I thought, why would I just eat monkey again when I can also make my friend Chui eat monkey for the first time ever?
Yes, man. I don't know what I'm doing here.
So you largely have a Filipino audience.
Yeah.
How do you think they would react to you eating this?
This will be like really, really extreme, but at the same time, we're doing this like to educate them.
That said, I think we should start with the kinilaw.
Kinilaw,
But
okay.
first, we need rice.
To pair with the protein, some rice cooked the traditional binulo style, inside a bamboo stalk.
This is my favorite part of today, actually. Fantastic. Woofed up. It smells good. It smells like lemongrass. It smells sour.
I don't know, but my heart is beating right now.
That means you're alive, so that's
Okay.
good. Cheers.
Cheers. It's kind of on the rubbery side.
Crazy chewy.
It's good. It's like eating goat.
I agree. It's a bit gamey. There's some funk to it. The charcoal had like burnt hair in it, and so this has some burnt hair flavor.
Exactly, yeah.
And that is what to me makes it taste unlike other meats I've had.
I just get a random question because I asked Jojo earlier. He said, "Have you eaten monkey?" I said, "Oh no, it's not part of our sub-tribe. We're not eating it."
He came from a Magindi tribe and they don't usually eat it. The sambals, we eat it.
Not everybody is eating this.
Not everybody.
And even within this village, the woman at breakfast too said that she likes bat wings. When she saw the lizard, she was like, no thanks. So a lot of it is based on culture, but also personal preference.
Yeah.
There is no more classic way to cook meat than to just throw it on the fire.
The second approach is straightforward, mirroring the Aeta lifestyle. Season the meat with salt and grill it over an open flame.
This is essentially a monkey drumstick. It's well done. It tastes charred. Oh my God, it looks like it was cooked medium.
Yeah.
Beef jerky.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Deer.
Yeah, I agree. It tastes like venison. Very different experience to what we just had over here.
Definitely.
Crazy salty, borderline jerky, very dense, but not too tough.
Visually, it's like you're eating like just a chicken, but when you taste it, it has a little bit of pungent, toasty flavor. It's like weird at the same time, it's familiar also.
There's almost a beefiness to it.
Exactly, yeah.
Red meat.
Yeah.
My understanding is that you also have a role in protecting these animals too, is that correct?
Absolutely. Dandye is working with WIN, wildlife in need.
WIN is a rescue center.
Yeah, all of the damaged animals and disabled, cut hands and blind eyes. WIN is preparing them to become at least free for themselves and that they can put back in the wild.
How do you come to terms with the fact that on one side, you're helping animals, rescuing them, rehabilitating them, and on the other side, you're going out and hunting them for consumption?
So there are protected areas and there's certain area where we are allowed to hunt. Permitted by the government. We know how to hunt, when to hunt, and how it is being done in the process. It's just a minimal amount. As long as we know that the animals that we're hunting are not part of the endangered species, we're still hunting it.
Gentlemen, Dandye, Sam, I gotta say, this was an incredible experience.
Oh yeah, just sit there. I have a surprise for you. Grandma, sit there.
There's a surprise?
Come here.
Oh, hi there.
You want to do the honor? Open it. Jaran!
Bat wings?
First, Dandye begins by charring the bats over a fire to remove their fur.
We already went bat hunting, there were no bats. Where'd you get bats from? You have a bat dealer?
Dandye's friends.
Oh.
My friend.
He then detaches the wings from their bodies and prepares for two separate dishes.
We have it preparing for the visitor.
To welcome you.
I feel so welcomed.
The bat bodies are cooked in a traditional manner, grilled over an open flame. After grilling, the meat is washed and carefully chopped to discard any undesirable parts.
Have you ever had bat?
Not yet, man.
You're just like a young yearling.
Yeah.
For me, it's my third bat experience.
For the dish we're trying, first a pot simmers with sour leaves, cucumbers, and lemongrass. Into this fragrant broth, the bat wings go, along with a pinch of salt. They simmer away until a uniquely surreal stew has been brought into fruition.
This morning at breakfast, Rosario said that if she had to choose between chicken wings and bat wings, it's bat wings all day.
Oh, really?
So, please.
Okay, should I get one?
A bat wing is very different from a chicken wing because it's more like a hand stretched out, and then between the fingers is the rubbery material of the wing. So I'm ripping off some of that rubber.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers, my friend. This is one hell of a meal, dude. So far, the rice is my favorite part. There's something rubbery about the wing. It's like someone's taken an inner tube and boiled it for 10 hours until it got soft.
Am I the only one? But this is like more pungent compared to the monkey. It has like a sour...
I think that might be the sour leaves.
Oh yeah, maybe that.
Also, man, bats are pungent because they just piss on themselves every night.
Oh, that...
These guys, they don't have good eyes. It's all about ears and nose. So right here we have a bat sour soup. It's like a bat stock. Yeah. Gentlemen, I respect the hell out of you. Not for me. It's like the worst lemonade ever.
Pure sourness.
That's what it tastes like. I'm so happy we got to go full circle. You know, today we went bat hunting. We didn't get anything. I was disheartened. I was distraught. But here we are. At the end of the day, the perfect bookend to this video. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're always welcome here.
Thank you, sir.
Now we're hitting the road again.
Today we have a special mission. We're heading even more northward in Luzon until we reach the Philippines' iconic rice terraces. Where are we right now?
Well, you are in Mayuyao right now.
Here, over hundreds of years, locals have carefully transformed this impossible landscape into not only something livable, but something beautiful and full of life.
Is that a good catch?
Yeah, I think it's a good cut.
I'm on a mission to learn how this inhospitable geography has impacted the life and diet of locals.
There are big crickets. Ooh, that has a smell to it.
Including a slimy meal with an eel-like creature.
Right here we have a fried loach. It's kind of like a gnarly version of French fries.
And some beef dishes that I'm not looking forward to.
He's just gonna plop in a little bit. Oh my God, I just saw the whole audience here just like, don't do too much. First of all, we are here at Linda's restaurant. Are you Linda?
Yes, sir.
This is such a unique place in the Philippines. Are there a lot of restaurants here?
We have about 4.
What's cool is you can say your restaurant is in like the top 10.
I don't think so. It is.
Oh, not even top 10? Uh-oh. There are 2 unique dishes in front of us right now. This one I want to try first. This is snail, but I'm told it's not just any type of snail. It's a soft shell snail.
These are your typical run-of-the-mill snails with a hard, inedible shell, but on the mountainside. Among these rice terrace patties, you can forage for soft shell snails.
I never heard of a soft shell snail.
They're commonly found in freshwater habitats, and their translucent, flexible shells allow them to navigate in water more effectively.
If you have a soft shell crab, that means you can eat the entire crab, including the shell. So is that the same with the soft shell snail?
Yes, the shells are nutritious.
For our breakfast, they're first soaked in water overnight to remove any unwanted particles. Toss them in a pot of water, together with hard shell snails that are also found in the rice patties. Put on the lid and let it bubble. Meanwhile, in a pan, get things sizzling with garlic, onion, ginger, and a dash of tomato for that aromatic punch. Mix this stir-fry magic into the pot of snails. Season with salt and pepper and give it a good stir.
Everything here smells amazing, by the way. Garlicky, aromatic, and very earthy. So you're telling me if I bite this now, it will not break my teeth?
No.
Because I don't want to have to go to one of the top 5 dentists.
This is Dechi, Mayu Yao's Director of Tourism Operations.
Soft, right?
She's spending the day to show me what her hometown has to offer.
That's wild. I don't even know what texture to compare that to. It is a very, very thin shell. It's almost like a thin egg shell when you bite through it.
Oh, it's crunchy.
Crunchy, and then in the end, when it's small, it's like sand. But it's very soft, and it's kind of absorbed all the sauce. Very earthy flavors, and then the lovely aromatics that you've added in here. Tomato, onion, garlic. That is really unique. In a moment, we're gonna be trying this. This is a dish that has cricket inside. But first, I want to understand a little bit more about this place. Where are we right now?
Well, you are in Mayuyao right now. This is the center of the town. We're quite small. Population's about 7,000. We're a 4th-class municipality in Ifugao.
4th class, what's that mean?
The others will be like 2nd-class municipality. It means that they have a much bigger income, but we are more agricultural.
And so most of the money made here, most of the industry is through agriculture.
Right.
It's a pretty small town. Do you feel like you know most of the people here?
Definitely. Everybody's an auntie, an uncle, a grandma.
That must create a much different vibe than a place like Manila.
So actually here, social responsibility is quite strong. It's one of our practices. So whenever somebody is celebrating or having a difficulty, everybody must help.
Let's talk about this next dish.
Fire up a pan with an ensemble of garlic, onion, ginger, and tomato.
The younger generation, are they eating bugs?
Yeah, when they go out on a picnic in the rivers.
Next, in a hot pot of water, drop in fresh local river fish and crunchy crawling river crickets. An incredible protein duo you don't often see paired up in one dish. Finally, mix the pan sauce into the soup and bring it all together.
I'm digging around. I see a lot of legs sticking out, Linda.
Despite boasting high levels of protein, fiber, and minerals, most would not consider inviting crickets to their breakfast. But here, folks do things a little bit differently.
There are big crickets, big fish. I just got a little bit of everything here. Fish, onions, crickets. Are you guys eating too?
No, we'll watch you.
No, you gotta eat too.
Yeah.
All right, cheers. I like it. Linda goes, so satisfied with her own cooking. Earthy, the taste of the river or the stream, and then very gingery. The fish is nice, fleshy and soft, and the crickets, their bodies absorb all those delicious flavors, and then it gushes out as you chew on their bodies. And then they have so many little legs and wings, so there's kind of a papery element. A lot of people in the West, they would see a dish like this, and it would freak them out, and most probably wouldn't try it. Why do you think people here are more open to a food like this?
We know where they come from, so we know the nutrients that you can get from them.
These crickets or these fish are clean. They live it in a clean water.
Part of my mission today is to understand how food is different here in the highlands and what different unique recipes we can find here that maybe we can't find elsewhere. And this right here, Linda, is a fantastic start. Thank you so much for breakfast, but you and I have a lot more to see.
Energized by two Mayu Yao delicacies, we venture downhill for more. Welcome to the iconic Mayu Yao rice terraces. Spanning over 25,000 acres in the heart of the Central Cordillera mountain ranges, this intricate irrigation system was hand-carved into the mountains centuries ago, at a time when only basic hand tools could be utilized.
To get a true sense of the life here for Highlanders, you can't just hang out in the small city with their eateries and basketball courts. You have to come here to the rice terraces. Today started with edible snail shells, but there is a lot more to come. This entire day is building up to something called papaitan. The secret ingredient? Cow juice. Yeah.
Papaitan is a spicy and savory Filipino stew. It's typically made using goat, meaning goat meat, goat organs, goat bile, and the goat's intestinal contents, also known as juice. All of this gives papaitan its distinctive but challenging bitter flavor. Here, the Mayu Yao version is made with beef.
First, you're gonna need a cow.
Meaning, we've got a heck of a lot more meat, and sadly, a heck of a lot more juice.
Somehow, within these mountains, among these slopes, people are still raising cows. What they do is they find small sections of flat area, places where the cows can eat the grasses, and they raise them there. Today, they have brought a cow to where we are now in this village. And the slaughter is about to begin.
With a swift, decisive jab to the throat, the first task is complete, and the real work can begin. Feasts like this are special events, drawing the entire community together to take part in the labor and join together in the final reward. Work continues with cleaning the bull's skin, torching, then scraping it clean. Tackling a beast this size requires two things: time and a lot of patience. Just a stone's throw away from where the beef is being prepped, under the murky waters of the rice paddy, there's a whole hidden world of slippery little critters waiting to be caught and put on a dinner plate.
It's easy to look at just one paddy and you think, oh, it's just a pool of water, but it's much more than that, because each paddy has to be a certain depth, but beyond that, each paddy has to fill the other paddies below it. What is the hardest part of maintaining a rice terrace?
If the rice field dry, that's the cause of rice field to be eroded. So the farmers try to maintain that the rice paddies always have water, not to be totally dried up.
Meet Fidel, the farming expert who caught our breakfast snails, and now he'll be catching another mysterious ingredient.
These pools are full of many different types of life. It might be hard to see, but right here there is a loach trap that's been set.
Loaches are slimy, eel-like fish found in freshwater bodies around Asia, Europe, and some parts of Africa.
I think there's some.
I like some.
This is the opening, the entrance of the loach, and on the other end is the
exit.
These fish, with a varied diet of small invertebrates, insects, and algae, play a crucial role in regulating aquatic ecosystem populations.
Is that a good catch?
Yeah, I think it's a good catch.
But here's what I'm really curious about. This isn't a lake, this isn't a pond. How do the loaches get into the rice paddy?
Some of the farmers release them to propagate, to multiply.
The lives of many loaches in these here terraces begin their journey in Fidel's laboratory. Here, he hatches loach eggs into fingerlings, then sells them to farmers who want to maximize their paddy's potential.
And so this is like a really multi-purpose cultivation. We've got rice, we've got snails, we've got loaches that have been introduced by people. That's amazing.
We're bringing our fresh loaches to a local restaurant where they'll be transformed into two dishes that I pray will be less slimy than their current state. But before that, let's see how our beefy feast is progressing. With the skin clean, villagers move on to butchering. Large sections of the bull are removed. Then the meat is gradually chopped down into smaller bits, all destined for a different variety of dishes. Every part of the animal, quite literally from the nose to the penis, as well as the revered bile sac, are integral to today's mountain menu. While work continues, the loaches await their inevitable fate.
Between us, we have two delicious looking loach dishes. Right here we have a fried loach.
First, season the loaches with salt and pepper.
It smells fishy and fried.
Then quite gruesomely, sink them into the viciously hot oil. Next time you're looking for a high-protein replacement for French fries, consider frying up some loaches. Once they've reached the pinnacle of crispiness, whisk them out of the oil and serve them with a side of vinegar and charred garlic.
How do you taste, sir?
A little gooey on the inside, very crunchy on the outside, a hint of fishiness, heavy from the oil, but overall nice. And, you know, with something heavy like that, you can pair it with some classic Filipino vinegar.
It's delicious.
Balance. I like it. Here we have, I don't know, more of the slimy, slippery option.
Begin by heating up oil to saute garlic and onion. Infuse the mix with bay leaves, star anise, tomatoes, ginger, bell peppers, and liquid seasoning.
This is what they call ginataan.
Allow the flavors to meld. Then, if you must, introduce the loaches, letting them soak in the savory blend. Pour in coconut milk and water and let it simmer. Finish with the addition of string beans, fish paste, green onions, and green chilies.
Oh, that's really nice. The body is super tender, almost like a fish skin, the fattiness of a fish skin, and then you have the spine going through, which is a bit crunchy. It's quite a charming dish. Look, if I wasn't careful, this dish could charm my pants off. I'm like, why are there so many loaches in my coconut curry? But then you take a bite, and you're whisked away. It's quite delicious. Are loaches a pretty common food in this town?
Yes, sir. But not at all villages because there are some parts that they have no loach.
Right, because not everybody has a Fidel getting 2 loaches in a dark room to make stuff happen.
As we wrap up our loach-filled lunch, cooking for our beefy feast has begun, starting with papaitan. Slice open the bull's stomach and you'll find it full of grass soaked in digestive juices. The grass is carefully squeezed by hand into a bucket and will be used later in this recipe. Next, the cow's ensemble of internal organs are set to boil, creating a flavor-filled stock for later. Once the organs are cooked, they're removed from the giant wok, then chopped down to size by the hands and blades of village neighbors. As this dish slowly takes shape, I'm introduced to another, something euphemistically called bat and balls.
Now I know balls, big fan of balls over here. What is a bat referring to?
The peas and balls.
Oh, that's what the bat is.
The impressively sized bat and balls are sliced open to maximize surface area. Then they're pressure cooked to save time. On the side, heat up oil and saute ginger, garlic, pepper, bay leaves, and shallots. Once the mixture has gently caramelized, add water, then transfer the bat and balls to a new pot. Season with salt, then pressure cook for an hour more. The final step, take the bat and balls out, chop them down to proper mouth-sized pieces.
Is this usually food for guys?
Only for guys.
Usually for men, but luckily for you, you know, equality.
Oh my gosh.
Then mix with ginger and pepper. Serve with a beef stock, in case you find the bat and balls a bit challenging to get down.
The best part about this is you don't really know what is what. You don't know what is a bat, what is a ball, what's a bench, what's a baseball glove. Okay, a bit gelatinous. It's been pressure cooked a bit, so it's kind of gummy.
A little tough, the skin.
Slightly leathery. Flavors are good. It's a strong taste of ginger and peppercorn.
A lot of spices.
Lots of spice. I like it overall. What do you think?
It's okay.
So this is a bat and ball soup, probably the fattiest soup I've ever seen. That's actually really good. You can't hate on that. You have to be a little careful because the top 3 millimeters is pure oil, but under that, it's like a peppery, spicy, gingery broth.
Tasty. I can really taste the spices and the meat.
All right, so this is all skin.
No, that's not the skin. That is the bat.
Oh, okay, I'm definitely gonna try that. You're right. That's a urethra. It's pretty good, actually. I like it. It's a drinking food. It's just gelatinous and gummy. It's kind of a pleasant texture. It's a texture I've come to enjoy in Asia. When we first drove into this community, I was really struck by how difficult a place this is to adapt to. What are the biggest challenges people are facing here?
It's the irrigation, mainly because of the location, so we need to improve our infrastructure to maintain our rice services.
For you, what do you think?
Public transportation, I think that will make it easier for us to connect with other towns and cities. We do regularly have typhoon season, so we got used to that.
Appetized with a sample of beef mayu yao mastery, I head back down the mountainside to witness the remaining dishes taking shape, including a nose-to-tail recipe that includes a literal nose.
It's going to be an adventure to taste this one.
But first, the papaitan continues. Oil is infused with a buzzing seasoning mixture of ginger, garlic, shallots, pepper, and bay leaves. Now enter the organs, soaking up those much-needed robust flavors. Transfer these stir-fried organs back into the soup they were boiled in moments ago. At this point, this unlikely stew is already brimming with funky aromas and powerful flavors. But for folks in Mayuyao, this is just the canvas.
The real flavor enhancers are about to go inside. There are 3, and I'm going to see Eduardo take it away. So right here we have small intestine that has not been cleaned, it's just been boiled. So the half-digested food that is inside, that is going to help make this soup extra bitter. We have the bile sac. He's just going to plop in a little bit. That's... Oh my God. What do you think? Was that too much? This is the juice. They're putting in a little bit of water to dilute it. He's got a strainer here. So he strains, look, we don't want all the particles, we just want the juice. I mean, this is just magic right here. Do you know Iron Chef?
Yes, sir.
Your ingredient is? Cow shit. This is moments away from being finished. It is green, it's murky, it's earthy. We are gonna be trying this, not yet, but very soon.
To finish it up, add salt, water, and the fiery kick of green chilies. With a day's work in the books, it's time for the community to join together in a mountainside Mayuyao meal. A meal you're unlikely to find anywhere else in the Philippines.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our final feast.
Now we can start to eat, and you can eat all you can.
It's like buffet. Well, there is a lot here. Chui, you've joined us for this whole trip, mostly behind the camera, but whenever there's something really special, where I just would feel selfish eating it alone, that's when I have to have you by my side.
Thanks for having me.
There's a couple of dishes here. This one in particular, have you ever had this?
I haven't tried it before.
That's the whole nose of the cow.
Cow nose soup, a dish that's brutally honest in its approach.
It's going to be an adventure to taste this one.
This exploration started with the boiling of the nose.
Oftentimes, males are the only one eating this one.
Unlike the papaitan, there are no potent herbs or spices to cover up the natural nose taste.
Could you please cut off some nose, please?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. It's just like pure skin.
Who want to taste?
We all want to taste, I think, especially Deichi.
All right, thank you.
Oh,
it's a big piece.
Whoa.
This is the mouth.
Right, the inside of the cheek.
It tastes like, like cow, of course.
It's certainly beefy. It's like a collagen stock.
Exactly. The good thing about this, the only flavoring agent is salt.
Right.
So the pure beef goodness is like really evident.
It doesn't taste so fatty. It tastes good.
The fun part too is you just get to look at this big gnarly thing while you're eating it. So look, this was a great start, an appetizer if you will, but this is the star of today. Papaitan. Is this your favorite food of the day so far?
We'll see.
I mean, there's just basically every organ in here.
It's like a Russian relay of different organs of cow.
Yeah, I've got so many mixed feelings.
I really like this part.
You got a little bit of stomach there? I mean, which organ is the best?
Maybe the heart.
Okay. Definitely is bitter.
It's bitter.
Gosh, it's very bitter. But why don't I hate it?
Sometimes, especially in Manila, when you eat papaitan, it's not too bitter. This one is perfectly bitter, perfectly gamey, and perfectly stewed.
You know, it's all about balance. What I like is that the chef, he could have been much more violent with the juice, and I would say he only used about 70%. That's called restraint, discipline.
Usually, when do you eat papaitan?
While drinking some drinks, not soft drinks, but hard drinks.
Definitely we should have booze right now. You like it?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's something about it that's kind of addictive. It's like eating a pungent cheese, something that just has this really strong, bold taste to it, but that keeps drawing you back again and again. The last thing to do is try some soup. Oh my God, this is not for the faint of heart right here.
Wow.
I like the meat part more.
Yeah.
The broth is pretty intense.
But I get it. That's why it's like a perfect partner of a liquor.
Right. It makes you crave for some ice cold beer. What we've eaten so far today, is it part of your typical diet or not really?
Typical Filipino, but in Mayuyao, it's not often. And I think what we did today could be part of a tourism package in the future.
You are the tourism operations officer for Mayuyao. Why should tourists come here?
You can trek along the rice terraces and see the houses, see the people, the culture. Our practices are quite different here. Still very strong. Respect for one another, community, and social responsibility.
What do you think more tourism would do for Mayuyao?
Well, it could help us change our mindset maybe, our approach in life. We can even appreciate ourselves much better. And hopefully with that, it would bring more economic activity in the town.
I think one great reason to come here is because, at least for now, not everybody else is. And there are very similar rice terrace type places that are overcrowded, and you kind of lose what everyone's after, which is this, the magic of a very peaceful place, amazing scenery, a place like no other. I must say, I've really enjoyed my time today with everybody in the village, but especially you too. So I just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you for coming here.
Now, we're hitting the road and traveling even farther north in Luzon, going to a village impossible to access by car.
This is some of the most brutal, raw, real travel you'll find in this country. There are no tunnels, there are no highways jutting through the mountains. It is non-stop, miles and miles of winding roads. The village we're headed to is only populated by about 1,000 people, and you can't even drive there. You can get close, but then you have to walk an additional 45 minutes just to get to the beginning of the village. We're almost there now. Let's start trekking.
Welcome to Buscalan, Kalinga, isolated in a small village, secluded on a mountaintop. Yet every week, thousands of travelers make the journey here for one reason: to be permanently marked by the iconic Apo whang-od.
I didn't realize how much of a force she was in this village until I walked through the village, and her picture is everywhere.
I'm on a mission to sit down face to face with the legend.
She kind of goes by her own schedule. If she doesn't want to do something, she doesn't do it. So what is the likelihood that I actually get to meet her today?
And to take part in a village feast with some shocking rituals.
The guy just cut a leg off of a pig and then rubbed the blood onto my arm. What is the purpose of the blood?
Building up to this, Aeta, the Philippines' rotten meat delicacy.
This is probably one of the most smelly meats I've ever smelled in my life.
But first, a meal high atop the mountain.
I'm very excited to be here, and we've come a long way.
After a 1-hour trek, I joined two local guides, Lorena and Aldrin. We're at an outdoor restaurant, ready to refuel with a delightful dinner prepared by Chef Kent.
You two were born here, and you came here later on, correct? So how long have you lived here?
4 years here.
Buscalan, a quaint village with some 200 households, exists in splendid isolation with limited Wi-Fi access and absolutely no cell phone signal.
I've researched so much about this place. It's a fascinating place, but there's one person who really stands out above everyone else, and that is
whang-od. She's the main reason why tourists came here, because whang-od is like the one who made the tradition more popular, especially Filipinos who are outside Philippines. She is a big help for them to connect with their roots.
Apo whang-od etched Kalinga into the global travel map with her ink and needle over a decade ago. These days, throngs of eager visitors stand in line for hours or even days, waiting to be marked by her 106-year-old hands.
Hopefully I get to see her later, but I'm not just here to see her. I really want to learn about the Kalinga people, especially in regards to the food.
Kent kicks off our dish by glazing a wok with oil, then tossing in garlic, onion, tomatoes, diced chicken, salt, and pepper, then stirring until the meat is firm. Surprisingly, chicken is among the many staple ingredients that Buscalan residents must import from the outside. To save time, they've incorporated a zip line, perfect for food, building materials, or wait, hold on, is that a guy?
How much of the food here are you able to provide for yourself, and how much are you having to pull up the zip line?
Mostly we grew them, but it's not enough, so we still need
more.
Yeah.
The problem here, and it's a unique problem, is you're not just feeding villagers.
No.
You're feeding maybe 2 or 3 times that because you have so many visitors.
Yeah.
Papaya, string beans, and jungle bitter gourd leap into the wok's embrace, and Kent seals their fate under the lid.
So what is something that you love and you wish you could get more easily, but it's just so hard to get here, besides cell phone reception?
Carbonara pizza.
Carbonara pizza?
Finally, okra, eggplant, and chilies complete the arrangement.
There's a little bit of rain. We can handle it?
Yep.
Great. It might make the food a little bit soggy, but I don't mind. I'm gonna get a nice rice base, so I'm gonna put on some of the veggies, some of the chicken. Can I hit it with some of this sauce?
Yes. It's good.
Is that the right move?
Yes.
Thank you. That's good. That soy sauce is like a flavor factory. Oniony, it's got a little bit of kick to it. It's like soy sauce is already good, but you really leveled it up a couple of levels. The vegetables and greens are just so fresh, and actually, so far on this trip, I've eaten a lot of meat. I've eaten a lot of fried things. I ate Jollibee from a trash can. So this is actually pretty nice.
We say pizza for delicious.
Pizza? Okay. I thought you were saying pizza. Do you guys have a pizza place up here?
No.
Oh, boy.
I would be so happy.
Yeah. Today, one of my big goals is to understand more about the Kalinga people. I know the Philippines, like Vietnam, where I live, has many different ethnic groups here. What separates the Kalinga people from any other group of people in the Philippines?
Each ethnicity have a kind of weaving, so it's like our style is different from style of Ifugao or style of Banawe.
The Kalinga, indigenous to the Cordillera Mountains in the northern Philippines, are found mainly in Kalinga province, with a population surpassing 150,000. Soon, I'll experience some of their most extreme traditions in an event known as Palanus.
Explain the Palanus.
Like eating all together, drinking all together.
You're speaking my language now.
Palanus is a festive gathering. They're performed to celebrate Kalinga weddings, housewarmings, or the arrival of a guest.
We have visitors in our house. We need to kill pig or chicken to welcome the visitors, for them to feel that they are a part of your family, something like that.
Can you do it when a YouTuber comes to town?
Yeah.
It'd be funnier if you said no. Actually, no.
For my welcoming, Aldrin will throw a Palanus at his home, where we'll slaughter a pig for a community feast. And I'll have my chance to sample a dish so potent, so putrid, it could gag a maggot.
It's a food that so many of my fans have asked me to try. Why are people so eager for me to try this?
Early the next day, feast preparations start with villagers draining a pig's blood, blending it with vinegar to prevent clotting, and setting it aside for later use in one of today's main dishes. Then before any butchering begins, and before I know it, I'm drawn into an unexpected guest welcoming ritual.
The guy just cut a leg off of a pig and then soaked the leg with its throat blood and then rubbed the blood onto my arm. What is the purpose of the blood?
They welcome you here in Buscalan. He said your life will become longer and longer.
Well, I don't want it to be too long. How long?
Many years.
Okay. Does this only happen to one person?
Yeah.
How long do I keep this on?
All day. Then tomorrow you can wash.
Okay.
According to Kalinga belief, the fate of the central person in a Palanus, also known as me, is tied to the butchered animal's liver.
We have the liver in hand, so he's examining it. How does he judge whether it's good or not?
He just looking for the whole...
The general condition of the liver. For example, this pig didn't drink at all.
Deciphering the future from an animal's organ is a practice I've encountered in Namibia and in Ethiopia.
There is one woman in front of your life.
Is it my wife?
There is another wife, second wife.
But this is the first time I've seen this ritual in Asia.
He was saying that it's looking good. In many years, you and your show will have more success.
When is the last time, sir, that you saw a pig where the liver indicated something bad?
6 years, 5 years, so they are get another pig.
Oh, so if it's bad, you don't eat the pig?
Yeah.
So this is very fortunate.
Yes, yes.
With the liver's approval, the villagers begin cooking. Massive meat chunks are hacked into serving-sized portions, then boiled with salt for over an hour. Simultaneously, the innards undergo a meticulous cleaning and boiling process. This will take a while. So while we wait, Lorena introduces me to the Filipino food of my nightmares. Fingers crossed that this doesn't mark the end for me, especially before I have the chance of meeting the legendary whang-od.
What I've been told before coming here was it's uncertain. She's 106 years old. She's still tattooing people. She's still vibrant. She's still working, but she kind of goes by her own schedule.
Yes,
if she doesn't want to do something, she doesn't do it. So let's hope for that. In the meantime, we have a food that so many of my fans have asked me to try. Thank you. This right here is the itag.
Unsurprisingly, the tradition of making itag predates the invention of the refrigerator. Slabs of pork are cured with salt for about a week, then they're sun-dried for several weeks. After this process, the itag remains edible for over a year, but there is a trade-off, most notably the smell.
This is probably one of the most smelly meats I've ever smelled in my life. That's not being mean, that's not being rude. This is smelly.
Yeah.
Now, you know, I've risked my life many times on this show. Never like this. My nose may be gone after this moment. I just lost 1 year of my life. I can't go back. And I wasn't gonna live that long anyways, to be honest. Oh, it just gave me the black lung. Oh my God, it is so incredibly smelly. I wanna explain to my audience what this smells like. Before I was a world traveler, I worked at a company moving refrigerators and washing machines. And one time there was an old man who got a new refrigerator. Fantastic news, right? Except for we had to take his old refrigerator. His old refrigerator was full of meat that had been sitting inside this warm, insulated case for weeks. We opened the door, we were hit with this powerful waft of rotten meat juices, and that smell is exactly like this smell. Does cooking reduce the smell at all?
Yes, it will make it more delicious.
You understand I have trust issues at this point.
Itog comes to the table in various forms. You can saute it with garlic, simmer it in a pot of soup, or just cut off the mold and go for it. For my first taste of this twisted dish, 1 long hour of boiling until it's soft seems to be a good idea.
The moment has come. I wish I could push it away more. I wish I could procrastinate, but Chui, I cannot.
Beside me, my good friend Chui.
I brought Chui here for a couple of reasons. One, because for all the most difficult foods I've eaten on this journey, I've wanted to also make Chui eat them.
He's joined me for a taste of PAGPAG.
You get some big pieces that have a lot of protein, but then there's also some pieces that we're certainly have eaten.
Monkey meat.
It's like riding a roller coaster for the first time. You're excited, but at the same time, you're scared.
And cow shit juice soup.
It's like a Russian relay of different organs of cow.
But the other reason, no, that's the only reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just have the one reason.
Since Lorena doesn't eat pork, I've invited Itog lover Marcos to join us for a bite.
When is the last time you had Itog?
Last night.
Last night? You were the right guy to bring into this moment right here. Please, try some.
We do like this when we eat.
Eyes are not watering. He looks genuine. Chui, you're up next.
Let's give it a try. This is my second time eating itag. To be honest, the first time I eat it, it's like, it doesn't go well. I didn't like it, but this is the second time, maybe I like it more.
Ooh. Cooking it didn't do anything. It smells rotten as ever. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's go for it.
Cheers.
Swallow, 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 swallow.
I had to chew it first, ma'am. Wow, that was quite an experience. I think I saw God or Satan, I'm not sure, one of the two. It's very soft and tender. There's something I think about this controlled rotting of the meat that tenderizes it a bit. It's fatty and oily. I'm not gonna say succulent, but there's a smoky, semi-rotten, cheesy-like flavor that sticks to the insides of your mouth. Like that flavor is there probably for the next 7 years.
When I ate this, the first time it's like way saltier. This is definitely much better. I'm not saying that I will eat this every day, to be honest, but maybe like on an occasion with an alcohol, definitely I'll eat.
Here, to wash it all down, some itag soup. I don't want to be disrespectful, but, you know, it just smells like liquid from a dumpster. It's brutal. Cheers. Wow, it stayed really hot.
Okay.
Oh,
it's oily.
It's very oily, savory. It starts with a nice hit of porky flavor, and then there's just some nice notes of rottenness at the end. But actually, that ain't that bad.
Yeah. I think if you will let a foreigner or a first timer eat this, this is a good starter.
Yeah, start with this.
Start this, yeah.
I'm curious when the reputation for this village began, because as you drive in, there are signs that are labeled Tattoo Village. Like this is the place in the Philippines known for if you want to get a really traditional tattoo. When did that reputation start?
Maybe like around 2010, and then 2012 it just...
Really?
Ancient Kalinga tattooing, known as bato, traces back millennia to a time when animism and headhunting were the norm. Originally, Kalinga warriors earned a tattoo for each deed in combat, while women adorned themselves for purposes of fertility and beauty. With the spread of modernization and Christianity in the 1900s, headhunting dwindled, and this traditional tattoo art teetered on the brink of extinction. That was until the rise of whang-od.
For a long time, people have been able to come here and get tattoos, but then eventually it exploded in popularity. So what made it explode in popularity?
Vlogs, documentaries, TV shows. Right now, tourists help with the schooling of the younger generations. We were able to go to school because we have the means, we have the money, with the help of these tourists, with the help of whang-od. Life now is more easier than before.
In just a moment, hopefully, I'll be meeting Apo whang-od herself. Let's see her mood today.
Just be charming with her.
Be charming?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen me not be charming?
Now, after 2 hours of cooking, the festive food is ready to soothe the hungry stomachs of the villagers. And with the grace of good fortune, Apo whang-od has accepted our dinner invitation. And even better, she's come hungry.
Today is a good day because you're here. You,
Oh my God.
you have a good nose.
Yes.
No nose.
Thank you so much.
Give her some.
Give her some nose. I have a bit extra. I wish I could give it to you. So we have some food. Does she want to eat any of this? Dinuguan.
Dinuguan is a unique soup of pork blood and organs. It begins innocent enough with a fragrant stir-fry of onion and garlic. The cook adds boiled innards and lets it simmer under a closed lid. Once the innards achieve the desired firmness, a generous amount of salt and papaya are introduced. The cook patiently waits for the papaya to soften before pouring in the blood and vinegar mixture from the morning. A final mix and a dash of heat from some minced chilies complete this festive dish.
Let's see if it passes her inspection.
She loves certain part.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna scoop myself some dinuguan as well. You taste the blood, it's a little bit sour, and there's some heat too. There's like some chilies in there. Uh-oh. She just ate some of the dinuguan. She's making some comments.
She said it's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Apo whang-od is pleased with the food. Taking advantage of her good mood, I aim to learn more about her story.
I know you've had so many people from so many different countries, TV channels, YouTube channels come here to talk to you, to interview you. What is the question that you're the most sick of people asking you?
She's sick of people asking her, what are the foods that you are eating? Why are you still here? Why are you still so strong?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That was gonna be my first question.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But I do have a question that I'm sure you've probably been asked before. Do you remember how old you are when you first got it started as somebody who is tattooing others?
She started practicing when she was about to be 10 years old.
So when you first begin, how do you practice? Do you just have a very trusting friend?
She started with her friends.
It really was a trusting friend.
Apo whang-od became a mambabato, or a Kalinga tattooist, under the guidance of her father. While tradition reserved this craft for Kalinga men, Apo's talent broke barriers, making her the first and only woman mambabato of her era. After this ancient craft began to fade, Apo whang-od held the title of the last mambabato for many decades, until her grandnieces stepped in as her mentees.
Why is it so important to you that you mentor other tattoo artists?
So that when she's gone, someone will continue it to do the tradition.
It's amazing that you've been able to bring this artistry to light for so much of the world, but the other side of that is now you continuously have people pouring into here and they want to get a piece of you. They want a photo of you, they want to interview with you, they want to eat dinuguan with you. So what is it like to constantly now have tourists in your space and surrounding you?
I'm happy. I am happy when there's a lot of people coming here. I am happy that they appreciate us here, even not just Filipino, even Americans or foreigners.
With decades of tattooing experience, Apo whang-od has designed countless artworks showcasing her people's culture. As time caught up, she entrusted more intricate work to her mentees, reserving her ash and needle only for her signature. 3 dots, representing her and the first 2 mentees.
Hey, what do you think of this tattoo? I have just one tattoo, it's right here.
Put more.
Put more? Oh, more tattoos.
Do you like me to put my signature on you?
I would love that.
Oh.
I'm a little bit scared though, because this was done with a machine and you're doing it by hand.
Here is a checklist for a Kalinga tattooing session. First, payment. Shockingly, with all her fame, she's only charging $6 per person.
Here we go. I have been given a needle, basically put on a little stick, and I'm supposed to give this to her.
Second, alcohol wipes. She doesn't do this part. So when I pointed to the tattoo's destination with my sticky dinuguan-soaked finger,
I want to put it here. 1, 2, 3.
Little did I know, that pork blood would soon be tapped into my veins. Oops.
She puts the ink first on my wrist.
Third, brace. The pain is real.
Oh my God. I can't believe I'm doing this.
The Kalinga tattoo method packs more punch than modern techniques. The tattoo ink is a mixture of charcoal and water, steadily tapped into the skin using a soot-stained thorn, fashioned from a pomelo tree, calamansi, or bamboo.
For you, what is the best part of your day?
The best part of her day is tattooing, sharing her craft.
One circle is complete. At this point in your life, you don't have to keep tattooing people. You don't have to keep meeting new people, having new people come to your home every day. So what keeps you going?
She's doing it so that the young generation who are coming of age will see how she do it, and hopefully they will continue to practice it. So when she said she will be gone, it's still being practiced. Maybe she wants to be an example.
And the final circle. For you, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years down the road, what is your hope for this village?
She hopes that they still keep the tradition going, and then they still do what was taught to them. The people are changing. We are different. They are different now. So let's just hope for the best.
She is done. She uses a little bit of a tissue to wipe it off. And I look like I have 3 bee stings. Wow. That took about 3 minutes, and that is for life. Salamat. Thank you.
Carrying a mark from Apo whang-od is like having a piece of raw living history inked right into your skin. It's not just a tattoo, it's a story, the ultimate souvenir and a badge of honor that I'll be wearing as long as I'm kicking around this crazy world.
I guess my final question, and I don't want for this to sound rude or dark, but Apo whang-od will not be here forever.
Yeah.
And once she passes on, what is the future of this place?
Hopefully, most of us are already have worked, went to school, finished school, so we can be able to help our younger siblings or families.
Do you think the tourism will continue here?
Hopefully they will still continue to come up here because younger generations are trying to continue these traditions, so it can be continuously being practiced. So, but like we said, we live simple life before we can go back to that. We experienced it during the pandemic, so it's easy. We can survive with whatever we have up here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of our Philippines adventure for this time. I have my tattoo, a reminder and a mark to forever remember this journey. For me, it was an incredible honor and pleasure getting to know new pieces of this country, but especially to meet Ms. Apo whang-od. This lady is iconic, and just being able to share a meal with her, look into her eyes and ask her questions and hear from her, it'll be an amazing memory and something I'll hold dear for the rest of my life. Boom! Guys, that is the end of our Filipino adventure. Can you believe that today I got a tattoo on my wrist for life? This could last longer than my marriage. It's a joke. Babe, I love you. Joking. I want to say a huge thank you to Chui from the Chui show right here. He was a big help, a huge help in this adventure, and it was fun watching him join in. Anytime I had to eat a food that made me feel conflicted inside, then I just made him do it and made me feel better. Yeah. Otherwise, that is it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. Should we take the zip line down?